Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by SonicWeb Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs, and brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson's The Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We're here with a terrific gentleman who's a researcher, humanitarian, and seeking to make a difference in people's lives, and developed a deep admiration for Nikola Tesla, the godfather of electricity. He studied Hieronymus, I think I got that right. He unbinded the RNA, DNA, bonds from microbes and plaguing the agriculture industry. He also explains a concept which basically is broken to three sections, which is sacred, architect, and divine. We're going to discuss that. And he is an amazing inventor of this wonderful light project. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Bradenton, Florida. The researcher, humanitarian, seeking to make a difference in people's lives and doing a great job. And he is the founder and developer of Scalar Energy, or best known as Scalar Light. Ladies and gentlemen, the multi-talented Tom Paladino. Tom, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Mr. Wagner. What an introduction.
Well, I can tell you're bringing some light into it as well, too. It's not just a scalar, but you're taking it to the next level. I can see that right now. So,
yeah.
But of course, right. But of course, there's more than that, too, that you're a researcher, humanitarian, you're seeking to make a difference in people's lives. You developed a deep admiration of Nikola Tesla. You studied Hieronymus, unbinded the RNA, DNA bonds of microbes plaguing the agriculture industry. And you also explained scalar light, which broke into three sections: the sacred source, the architect life, and the divine intelligence. And we'll talk about that. And before getting to all that, Tom, first of all, what exactly is scalar light?
Yeah, that's a perfect question. It's not electricity. Scalar energy is from the sun and the stars. I believe it is a unique energy that is, we have yet to really fathom what this energy can do. It is a divine energy as far as I'm concerned. It is of an infinite character, meaning what? It has instructions. This scalar light spectrum can carry instructions. And from what I have observed, it can carry infinite number of instructions. So really, it's the perfect communication tool. If we look at electricity, it's in many ways, it's limited. I look at scalar energy, it's from the sun and the stars now. It's unlimited energy, and it's able to carry instructions, an infinite number of instructions. So I really think this is the mind of God.
And it does sound like it too. And how did you first get interested in scalar light and scalar energy?
The first scalar energy researcher, as far as I'm concerned, was Nikola Tesla. At the latter part of his life, Nikola Tesla was working with wireless communication, wireless energy, and he was able to tap into this atmospheric energy. He did not have a power plant. So what was he doing? He was tapping into sun energy, star energy. He actually built a tower in Long Island, Wardenclyffe Tower. And that tower was able to harness, to capture scalar energy, the energy of the sun. Now, why is this so important? It's free energy. It's clean. It does not have a carbon footprint. It can carry an infinite number of instructions, so it has infinite memory. It's the perfect communication system. This communication system is far exceeds the ability of any supercomputer.
That's really interesting. And in fact, I can feel the energy right now as we're speaking here. So we're feeling it. So, and of course, one of the things with the sacred energy is, first of all, the sacred source. And we covered that. And of course, the second one is being the architect of life. And tell us about that.
Yeah. Hieronymus was an inventor, a scalar energy inventor. I met their family. I never met the inventor himself, Galen Hieronymus. And he was able to use this scalar energy to affect life. What am I saying? He had scalar energy instruments in which he could broadcast this at, say, an insect or a bacterium. And he was able to, if you will, nullify or negate the molecular structure of an insect or a bacterium. And this profoundly influenced me. And I have developed, if you will, scalar energy instruments myself now that are able to send that identical energy to break down the molecular bonds of a bacterium or a virus. So as far as I'm concerned, this is the easy way. This is the new way to address what I would consider microbial infection.
Okay. Okay. And of course, in terms like with, trying to get rid of the diseases and just about everything, and looking to trump the current methods that we have out there.
Yeah, yeah. So what do I propose? Well, the world should take a look at, I consider this an emerging science, scalar energy. Tesla and Hieronymus were the two pioneers, and I'm trying to continue on with their work. Again, this energy is capable of so much. It has so many work applications or work functions. And again, one of the work functions that I've perfected, it's able to detect, if you will, a microbe, a germ, and nullify and disassemble the molecular bonds of that microbe. This offers incredible prospect to mankind. This is eventually going to be embraced as quantum healing. It's not a biological process. It's an informational process. So we're working with clean energy. We're broadcasting information or instructions. This is not a biochemical reaction.
Mm-hmm. And what are some of the instructions that that you know of are being transmitted? Like what instructions?
Well, I'm able to program these instruments to, if you will, take a look at a photograph of a microbe. I'm holding up a photograph of the herpes virus. If I were to place a photograph as an instruction into the instrument of a microbe, the instrument would look at the signature, would look at the light fingerprint, if you will, of a photograph of, say, the herpes virus, would be able to identify that by way of instructions, and then send that energy into the quantum field, into a person or an animal or a plant, and thereby identify the herpes virus and negate the molecular bonds of the herpes virus. So a photograph of a microbe allows this instrument to actually decipher, or if you will, interpret that microbe and then destroy it.
Hmm. And this is coming from the scalar light itself, from the sun, the universe, and it can not just hit, one cow, one person, all that. It'll hit like, millions pretty much all over the world simultaneously.
Yes.
Whoever's got the herpes virus and just hits that too.
Yes, bravo, exactly. So how do I work with this in practice? Well, I work with this instrument either with a solo photograph, my photograph, or a group photograph. So I can actually pinpoint this energy by way of a person's quantum field, their energy signature. And the instrument can easily work with, say, 500,000, 1 million photographs a day.
Wow.
So it's not a one-on-one process. This is not an in-person process. This is an energetic process through the medium of a photograph. We're able to work with 500,000, 1 million, 2 million people a day.
Wow.
This is the quantum field. This is not a biological process. This is not a one-on-one. There's no in-person session. I only work through the quantum field, which is the light recognition field of photographs.
Hmm. That's interesting. That's interesting. And of course, besides our herpes complex as well, too. What else can it wipe out? Like say with the COVID, or say with the regular influenza, or like say H1N1 Nile virus and all that. So is it just that you program it to like a certain molecule, like say get rid of COVID, get rid of Nile virus and everything like that? Can it do like all the same time, or just simply program different? Different processes.
Yeah, very good. So the instructions are always by way of a photograph. Why? Because a photograph does not lie. It's a source of light. So if I place, again, a photograph of the herpes virus into the instrument will look for the herpes virus, seek it out, and disassemble the herpes virus. Now, I have in my laboratory, rather extensive laboratory, I've been doing this throughout my life, I have 400,000 photographs of species of microbes, germs. So my potential now is to identify over 400,000 species of microbes, such as the herpes virus, and then disassemble or negate the molecular bonds of those 400,000 species of pathogens. I call that the pathogenic cleanse. Now, you can do this easily with light. I don't want the audience to think that this is an in-person phenomenon. No, it's not. The quiddity of the matter is we work through the light spectrum. We keep it in that light dimension so that you can work through the medium of a photograph of a person or an animal. And that way you transcend time and space. And if I can transcend time and space, and I can, then I can work with 1 million people a day and I can eradicate a whole series, if you will, of protozoan and viruses and bacteria. This is quantum healing. It's accomplished at the scalar energy level, a different dimension than that of Newtonian physics, or the electromagnetic dimension. And it works. Why? Because these instruments control scalar energy. Scalar energy is a fundamental life force energy. It's a primal force. And I've developed this instrument so that I can, again, negate the molecular bonds of a microbe or a toxin.
That's rather interesting too. And what's been the most challenging of all the microorganisms and or anything like that, the microbes? What do you consider like the most challenging of the virus of all, and how you overcome it?
There's no challenge anymore, and I don't mean to be flippant with you, Mike. If I have a photograph of a microbe, the instrument can be instructed to look for that microbe and to negate it, to negate the life force, or what I call negate the molecular bonds. I'll give you a for instance. I'm working with an HIV clinic in Delhi, India. We've worked with 5,000 people by way of a photograph in Delhi, India. And everybody, after we worked through their photograph, this is quantum healing now, everybody reports that they feel better. And some people have had follow-up PCR tests, and there's no viral load after the scalar energy sessions. So I'm going to go on record by saying, through a clinic, it's called Om Prakash, in Delhi, India, we've had great success. And according to the people, their eyewitness testimony, everybody feels better. And those who've had a follow-up PCR test after I've worked through their photographic dimension, through their quantum dimension, all of them are symptom-free of HIV.
That's really interesting as well, too. And how's it affect the agriculture industry? We'll get to that in just a minute, along with his work in the research and humanitarian field with Tom Paladino. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews. And Eve 11 endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes, Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mia Molson-Zia. Available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, over 40 podcast platforms, heard in over 100 countries, including Facebook, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, Anchor FM, Apple Music, and more. Also on BitChute and Rumble and the YouTube channel. Make sure you take us with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok today. For great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, hoodies, and tote bags, and more. Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. Also t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, phone cases, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check it out today. I'll support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Make sure you do so today. We're here with an amazing gentleman who's the leader and also a advocate of Scalar Light here on the Mike Wagner Show. He's a researcher, humanitarian, so he can make a difference in people's lives. And he really developed a deep admiration for Nikola Tesla. And of course, how'd you first, really get involved with Nikola Tesla? What was that one precise moment that simply said, hey, I want to really get into this guy?
Yeah, there was a eureka moment. It was when I was a youngster, and I would read about Tesla. And I understood that Tesla, especially the latter part of his life, was working with what he called radiant energy, or scalar energy. And to this day, we've never duplicated his results. Why? Because we're not working with scalar energy instruments. We're working with electrical instruments. So the world has to realize now, again, there's 2 energies, electromagnetic and scalar. And the latter part of Tesla's life, when he was working with free energy, or what he called radiant energy, was this new and emerging science, scalar energy or radiant energy. I can't tell you, and I can't emphasize enough how pertinent this is and how this is a game changer. If this is correct, and my theory is correct, that scalar energy is free energy from the sun and the stars, and Tesla tapped into it, and now I'm tapping into it on a minor scale, if you will, this discovery will end the energy crisis. This is free, clean energy from the sun and the stars. There's no carbon footprint.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does too. And I also thought about, being other things. Tesla also developed the radio signal and also a number of energies as well too. And one being taken over by Thomas Edison, where he turned it into, a cash grabber as well too. And I guess the question is, do you think Thomas Edison would have done something similar to Nikola Tesla, or do you think he might have succeeded better, or do you think he might have failed, Thomas Edison?
I don't think anybody can compare it to Tesla. And there was a time that Tesla was working for Edison, but they parted. They went their separate ways. Give Edison credit. He understood the electromagnetic spectrum, and he has many inventions. But in my estimation, nobody approaches the prowess. Nobody has the intellectual mind that of Nikola Tesla. And I don't think Edison ever really considered, or he never put it on paper, that there was two energies. Tesla knew that there was two energies.
Mm-hmm. And I could see why too, that they had that too. You've been a researcher, humanitarian, pretty much all your life. And how'd you first become like a researcher or humanitarian? And how'd you first get started? Let's go to the way back machine.
Yeah. Well, I always had the desire to work with scalar energy, but let me make this very clear. It's an arduous path. This is not easy. So I set out to have the best university training, and the, if you will, a foundational understanding of the sciences. And after a collegiate career, then I said, I'm going to go on this alone now and provide myself with this new immersion into this private research. I researched Tesla and another inventor, Hieronymus. And that's really entailed the past 30 years of my life, private research, trying to duplicate Nikola Tesla's work and trying to bring this to the forefront that, yes, indeed, that this is valid science, that, yes, we can benefit from this. What's the point of technology? To benefit from it.
Mm-hmm. And certainly his as well too. And he also going with the agriculture industry and trying to get rid of all the diseases in the animals, and of course the first genesis of the interest in the ag industry.
Yeah, Hieronymus, my predecessor, was working actually with the United States government, and he was demonstrating to the United States government how he could eradicate, say, pests, insects in say, an apple orchard. And the government at that time was working hand in hand with him. At one time, Hieronymus secured the photographs of the Apollo 11 astronauts, all under the aegis of NASA, and he was able to treat the astronauts through their quantum field by way of their photograph. So as the Apollo 11 astronauts circled the moon, orbited the moon, Galen Hieronymus, the inventor, was able to pick up their biorhythms on their photograph. Why? Because a photograph of a person is the bilocated version of the person. My photograph reports my heartbeat. My photograph reports my biorhythms in real time. And Hieronymus proved that. And NASA was enthralled with his research. Well, this is obviously back in the 60s when we had the Apollo mission. But since then, this has not really been taken up by NASA. But at one time, they were keenly interested in the work of Galen Hieronymus.
And that certainly is as well too. And of course, one of so many other accomplishments, that's been done with scalar energy, and also some of the other stories that have been used to it. And what do you see in the future that you're working with scalar energy?
Well, somebody is going to reinvent Tesla's Wardenclyffe Tower and be able to provide clean, divine, pollution-free energy, wireless energy anywhere in the world. So imagine that. Like you don't need a nuclear reactor. You don't need a wind farm. You do not need an armature or any type of turbine or any type of piston or any type of combustion engine. You simply tap into this energy, as Tesla had done, And you just then broadcast this to any household, to any factory in the world. If you look closely at the Wardenclyffe Tower in Long Island, New York, there were no telephone poles. There was no electrical wiring. So Tesla was tapping in from that source, that radiant energy, and then able to, if you will, distribute radiant energy on the dime, if you will, wireless transmission of energy. We should have listened to him. And had we have listened to Tesla and then incorporated his scalar energy principles, we would not have an energy crisis. We would be working with the free energy of the stars.
Mm-hmm. And how about the electric cars? You know, they're that's going to be in the future as well too. And how will we benefit from that? Or would it be better than the electric cars? Or would it be like,
Well,
say, a scalar car or something?
Tesla actually had a scalar car. He retrofitted a Pierce Arrow car, and he actually took out the combustion engine and he put in what I would consider a radiant energy car. He just had an antenna that was affixed to the car, and he was able to power this car by way of star power, sun power. Now, what does that mean? That means you don't need a battery. You don't need to recharge. There is no carbon, if you will, emission, obviously. It's free energy from the sun and the stars. And Tesla, during this experiment in Buffalo, New York, proved that he could power a car through star power, through scalar power.
Mm-hmm. And do you also need solar panels for this too? Like, or say with
No,
a special scalar energy solar
no,
panels?
no, he didn't use, from what I can understand, he did not use solar panels. He had some type of antenna, but it wasn't really, if you will, an elaborate antenna. So if we just revisit his work and just, if you will, reverse engineer many of his inventions, we're going to discover the answer for the energy crisis. I can't emphasize enough, if we had free energy, unlimited energy through this unlimited intelligence of scalar energy, it would change the course of history.
Mm-hmm. And certainly would too. And of course, you know, most of it can be stored as well too. Can scalar also be stored as well too?
Yes, yes. It has infinite memory and it has infinite storage capacity. And the beauty of it, it's clean, but you really don't have to worry about storing it. Why? Well, you have the stars, you have billions of galaxies that are broadcasting scalar energy. You're never going to run out of that star power.
Mm-hmm. And also, what special equipment would it take to you know, operate and also to store the energy like that, or
Yeah,
to be just like, you know, you just take it in?
yeah, if you will, my instrument is a miniature star, but it's just not powerful enough. Now, I cannot illuminate a home, but I can send quantum energy through a photographic plane, through the photographic dimension. So, on a minor scale, I've accomplished what Tesla had accomplished on a grander scale. So, hopefully, God will give me the wisdom that I can amplify my energy, and my instrument will be a thousandfold, a millionfold the strength that it is currently. If it is, then I've discovered the technique of powering the world, providing free energy to power the world by way of scalar energy instrumentation.
Mm-hmm. And also too, getting to the ag industry as well too. And you know what do you see in the future of it? How can it help
Yeah,
the ag industry, and also put a strong emphasis and
yeah.
why it's more important than ever, especially with the current crisis we're having?
Now, I work with many farmers, and these farmers send me photographs of livestock and of their crops. Now, I'm able to, if you will, take a photograph of livestock, identify a microbe, and in this quantum plane, if you will, in this informational plane, I'm able to eradicate, negate the molecular bonds of microbes. I am also able to take photographs of, say, crops or even the soil and send into that crop or into the soil nutrients. Scalar energy has the ability to assemble a micronutrient such as a vitamin, mineral, and antioxidant. So I do this every day, and I've enjoyed sound health. I am able to assemble micronutrients through my photograph. I only work with my photograph. I don't even work in person with my laboratory. So if I can work with a person in the quantum field, then I also can work with livestock and crops and even soil by way of this instrumentation.
Now, can this scalar light also get rid of pests too, and we don't need the
Yes,
insecticides to
yes,
get rid of pests?
exactly. That's what Hieronymus was doing. Hieronymus, my predecessor, yes, to answer your question, he was able to eradicate pests, insects from farm fields, even apple orchards. Yes.
Wow, that's interesting. I think we'll do that. We'll have to, find some unique pests and then say, hey, get rid of this and use the scalar light to do that. Who needs the pesticides out there? I like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, it's pregnant with opportunity. There are so many derivatives of this energy that we could speak of. It has thousands of applications. That's what I'm saying. A scalar energy instrument can be used in so many functions. So this is a game changer. I hope your audience really catches on to this.
and of course, too, in order to get more information about scalar light and how you can benefit from it, we'll find out in just 1 minute. Tom Paladino, you listen to the Mike Widener Show at the MikeWidenerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios, and brought to you by our official sponsor, the Mike Widener Show, international warring author Mia Molson Zia Missing. We'll be back with Tom Paladino of Scalar Light after this time. We're back with the founder and creator of Scalar Light and the revolutionary Tom Paladino here on the Mike Widener Show. And Tom, I'm sure you'd be getting questions about how do we get more information and how can we get this and how do we learn about this, and tell everybody it's like, how do we get more information on Scalar Light, and how can we teach people and how can we spread the word about Scalar Light?
Yeah, thank you. Well, in order to introduce this to humanity, I offer 15 days of free sessions. Anybody in the world can send us, email their photograph. Now, keep in mind, I only work through the photographic dimension. Our website is scalarlight.com. That's SCALAR, scalarlight.com. Visit the website. You can read about my work. If you're inclined, send in your photographs of your family members, get their permission, and even your pets. And if you have livestock, send in photographs of your livestock. And over the course of 15 days, we'll assemble nutrients now. It's all done informationally. And we'll also be able to identify microbes and eradicate those microbes. And after 15 days of assembling, creating, if you will, transmuting micronutrients as well as negating microbes, germs, most people feel better. And that's the key. This is a new science. I have to rely upon the testimonies of people. Most people, the greater majority of people say, yes, they felt some shift, some improvement.
Okay. And then once again, what's the website and how do people get information?
Yes, scalarlight.com, SCALARLIGHT, scalarlight.com. Please avail yourself. It's no obligation. We're not going to ask you for any pertinent information. Just upload, email us your photograph. This way you can prove to yourself that there is some merit to this new science, scalar science, that we can interact with a person or an animal through their photograph, at least through the quantum plane dimension. This is a non-physical session. It's light. It's pure light. If this is not a biochemical reaction, it's a light reaction. It's specifically now scalar light. It's not electricity.
Okay. All right. We will certainly get people to do so as well, too. And many of us will do that. We're here with Tom Paladino, Scalar Light, here on the Mike Widener Show. I mean, this is just amazing stuff. I'll have to have you back on and give us some updates and results of people who have done this well. And also, what else we expect from you in 2023 and beyond, Tom?
I'm predicting a good year, and let's make it a good year. With God's blessing, I want people to unite. We fight too much. That's a big problem, Mike. The world has to unite and stop fighting. Let's pray for world peace, and I think we're going to have a good year.
And also leave 2022 behind, and then hopefully get rid of what's going on too. So we encourage everybody to use Scalar Light as well too. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
In my career, with the exception of God, it would have to be Tesla and Hieronymus. Two incredible minds, two incredible scientific minds. And to this day, we haven't caught up with their intellectual achievements. Eventually, we'll understand what they've accomplished.
We'll certainly do so. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Make every day count. I had a good day today. I had goals. I met my goals. It wasn't a grand slam necessarily, but just do your best. And that's all you can ask for people. Just do your best. And if you do, everybody does their best on a daily basis. This is utopia. This is heaven on earth.
And certainly do so as well too. We're here with Tom Paladino with Scalar Light here on the Mike Wagner Show, an amazing researcher, humanitarian, seeking to make a difference in people's lives. And Tom, a very big thank you for your time. By the way, you've been absolutely fantastic. Learned a lot from you. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. Once again, what's your website?
You.
How do people contact you?
Yes.
Where can people get more information about you, Scalar Light, and how can they learn from it?
Please visit the website, scalarlight.com. If you want to be part of this new movement to change the world, contact us. Contact me. I want to work with people around the world. This is so simple, in which we can deliver information through a person's photograph. That's so simple. This is a sea change. This is a new way of looking at this dimension of scalar energy. This technology is about to change the world. Be a part of it.
We will certainly do so, and keep that in mind in honor of Tesla, who gives us energy already too. So once again, Tom, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Learned a lot. Looking forward to it soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back and wish you all the best. And Tom, you definitely have a great future ahead of you.
God bless you, sir. Thank you.